Dear friends, dear delegates, 2 years ago we met in Rotterdam and it was a difficult moment for our political family. We only gathered there with 7, 8 council members. EPP was defeated in Germany and was out of government in many EU countries. Many commentators thought that we will be finally squeezed between the left liberal and the right extreme populists. Let's be honest, this was not an easy moment for us as EPP. But we did what we are good at. We stood up, we fought, we tried to convince, and dear friends, we won. Today is the European People's Party as the biggest group in the European Parliament, the highest number of national parliamentarians, the biggest number in the Council of Regions, Committee of Regions. We are the Mayor's Party of Europe. We have the President of the European Commission, of the European Parliament in our team, and we have in the meanwhile 12 Prime Ministers, Council members in our team. Soon, hopefully, Maria Gabriel will join, and hopefully on Sunday, Luis Montenegro will win. After Costa's resignation, it's time that Portugal gets new leadership, dear friends. My first message as EPP President is the European People's Party is back. Here in Bucharest, you can see the powerhouse of Europe, dear friends. Welcome. The best proof for this is that more than 600 journalists have registered for this Congress. They feel and they know during this Congress you can see the future of Europe. And why? It's not first about us. It's about the people of Europe. They trust in us. We have won elections because we do what our nature as EPP is all about. And let me today talk about this nature, this EPP DNA. And let me start with a story. I was 1 year ago in Bucha, and I met the mayor of Bucha. I had a long talk with him. He described me the brutal, incredible brutal war crimes Russian soldiers did in Bucha. He told me that he was defending, together with the Ukrainian soldiers, the first wave of attacks from Russia without being a soldier. And I was asking him, why? Why have you done so, risking your life? And he told me, Mr. Weber, I am 52 years old, as you. I grew up in communism. I saw the Iron Curtain breaking down. I was on Maidan, fighting in 2007 for peace, freedom and democracy. And today I'm elected mayor of my city of Bucha. And I have 2 children. And I stand on the side of my Ukrainian soldiers and friends because I want to guarantee that my 2 children can also live in freedom and in democracy and not in Putin's brutal dictatorship. Dear friend, this man stands for Europe. This man stands for our European Union of values. This man stands for the European way of life. And that's why welcome to Petro Poroshenko, welcome to Yulia Tymoshenko, to our friend Klitschko. You are the heroes of our fight for our values. We are the party of Ukraine as EPP. When President Zelensky addressed the European Parliament, he used around 20 times the word European way of life. When we as EPP coined this concept 5 years ago, we were heavily attacked by the left, but we always defended the framing of the European way of life. No, Europe is not only a marketplace, as the liberals tell us. No, Europe is not only a cash machine, as Orban thinks. No, Europe is not only is not at all a bureaucratic law machine, as the left is telling us. For us, Europe is our home. We are the party of the European way of life. And the basic principle, dear friends, for this way of life is for us rule of law. During this mandate, we fought for a binding rule of law mechanism with other democratic forces in Europe. And we have it today. Even though, I have to say, that we can still improve this rule of law mechanism to make it more party neutral in a way. But more importantly, we win elections against those who want to destroy rule of law. Poland, for example, with a high turnout, with a strong support, especially of the young generation, Donald Tusk, our former EPP president, brought Polish soul to life again. Poland is European, and Poland is based on the rule of law. Thank you to Donald Tusk. Thank you to Platforma, to PSL. You made it possible. Thank you so much. And dear colleagues, we do the same in Slovakia against Fico. We do the same in Malta to Anna Daphne Caruana Galizia against the socialist Muscat. Or in Czech Republic, where our parties kicked the corrupt Babiš from the Liberals out of office. And we do the same in Spain, where Sanchez is becoming the puppet of Puigdemont, where socialists are ready to make an amnesty today, as Alberto told us, an amnesty even for condemned terrorists. Shame on Mr. Sanchez, shame on socialists. Like Donald Tusk did in Poland, Alberto will bring back Spain to a rule of law-based approach. Congratulations for this. Dear friends, when I'm speaking about the EPP DNA, what is the EPP all about? Then let's look to our name. We are the European People's Party. We can be grateful to brave EPP leaders. They gifted us with 70 years of peace in the European Union, and since the fall of the Berlin Wall, also with unity between East and West to live in freedom and democracy. Christian Democrats made this. We made our today's Europe. And to honor this heritage, let me welcome today two of our former presidents of European institutions. In the first row, there is Hans-Gert Pöttering as former president of the European Parliament, and it's great to see José Manuel Barroso as former Commission president. Thank you so much for your service. You show that we were always leading Europe. Thank you so much for doing so. Today again, this Europe is under attack. As the Brexiteers, now again politicians try to destroy this Europe. The worst example for this is for sure the German right-extreme AfD party. Our reply, dear friends, is this Europe is for sure not perfect, but it is the best Europe in our history we ever had. And that's why we as European People's Party will be in the first row to defend our Europe. It's our Christian democratic Europe, and we will not allow that anyone destroys us and harms us. We are the first party defending Europe. Dear colleagues, let me deliver another promise. As EPP, we draw a clear line to all the extremists in Europe. The EPP will therefore never cooperate with any party who refuses the European Union, the spirit of cooperation and its institutions. We will never cooperate with parties who refuse the support for Ukraine and who are the friends of Putin. And we as EPP will never cooperate with parties who harm or even destroy rule of law. Three basic principles where the voters in Europe can count on the strong value base of us as EPP. Another key idea, dear colleagues, of us as EPP family is embedded also in our name. We are the European People's Party. Last Sunday, I was part of a Bavarian Stammtisch. We met in a Wirtshaus, that is a Bavarian restaurant. We had good Bavarian beer there. There were good speeches, questions, arguments, listening to people, farmers complaining about bureaucracy, nurses about decent income, an entrepreneur was asking about the high energy cost, university professor was talking about Erasmus, and everybody was concerned about the war and about Putin. That is what we all do every day. We are talking with people. We take them serious. And dear colleagues, having Franz Timmermans and his technocratic team on European level in mind, I tell you, every farmer in Europe has planted more trees in their life than a lot of the left-minded officials in the Brussels bubbles. Farmer, dear friends, know better how to fix things. That's why listen to them, take them serious is our approach. EPP is the party of listening to citizens and to people. And let me also talk about other democratic competitors. Remember, Emmanuel Macron had the ambition to transform his idea of movements to the European level and to destroy all the old parties, and EPP was one of these old parties. And what do we see today? His group in the European Parliament, the Renew Group, is shrinking, will shrink in the next European elections. The latest polls tell us that the Renew Group will only arrive as the 5th biggest group in the European Parliament. And in France, his concept of "I am the only one who can protect you against the right extreme Le Pen" made finally the right extreme in France even stronger. Dear colleagues, the concept, the political concept of Emmanuel Macron and of the liberal failed at the end. He cannot deliver to stabilize the center. And dear colleagues, the socialists, Olaf Scholz, even proclaimed a social democratic decade for Europe. But this imaginary decade lasted less than a few months. Today's farmers, craftsmen, and workers are on the streets of Berlin, Paris, and Madrid. The Social Democrats and the liberals have lost the people. The left-wing dream of them quickly turned into a nightmare for Europe. Dear friends, 1 year ago, EPP spoke about a moratorium on new bureaucratic burden, about the concerns of farmers. In the European Parliament, we spoke about competitiveness and jobs, about another industrial deal for Europe. 1 year ago, EPP spoke already for the need about an European defense pillar and even a war economy, at least on production of ammunition. And today, everybody can see EPP was right. People don't want to live in a left Europe. They look for EPP Europe, dear friends. And after listening, also bridge building is part of our DNA. We do not split in first and second class Europeans in different classes as the socialists do. We take the concerns of the entrepreneurs, the startup entrepreneur, just as seriously as the concerns of the Amazon driver. After speaking about values, speaking about our ideas of a people's party, let me finish with the third point I want to mention today. The EPP does not only speak about problems, the EPP solves them. The last years, dear friends, were not easy. We had Corona, the war, but we already managed a lot of things: migration, digitalization. The EPP, under the lead of Ursula von der Leyen, and together with the whole team in Brussels and Strasbourg, we fixed them and kept Europe together. Especially, let me mention Green Deal. We tell the youth of Europe, we did it. The Greens in the European Parliament voted against the climate law finally. So we as EPP will show that we will bring economic success and environmental responsibility together. We are protecting the future, not the Greens are delivering on the outcome. We are the party of climate protectors and not of climate stickers, dear friends. We do not want to be elected because the others are bad. We want to be elected because we have good ideas for the future of Europe. In a few seconds, Ursula von der Leyen will present today our EPP ideas for the future. We all worked hard for our EPP election manifesto and the programmatic road for the next years. With Ursula, with the EPP, Europe was and will be in good hands. And when we speak about content, dear friends, we have two key promises. One is security and peace, and the other is prosperity. We need to strengthen the economic base of Europe: innovation, single market, less red tape, trade. A lot of leaders spoke already about this during the Congress. And we will protect Europe. Whoever is in the White House, 330 million Americans will not defend on the long run 440 million Europeans. We have to defend our Europe from our own strength. And this, dear friends, is not a new idea. De Gasperi had tears in his eyes when he was informed about the veto from France on the European Defence Union in 1954. With one army, another war in Europe is impossible. What a great idea 9 years after the Second World War ended. And today, we are back to this idea. United, we have to be so strong that Putin don't waste any thought on attacking us. We have to lead, the others will not do so. We see this with the inner small-minded fight between the socialist Scholz and the liberal Macron. They do communication, we, dear colleagues, we do politics. It's up to us, who else if not us? And as party president, I will take care that the promises we gave yesterday in the manifesto process will be implemented tomorrow in the daily life in Brussels. The party, we together define the program. We are a family, not a sum of individuals. We have ideas, dear friends, and we have also the personalities for the leadership. I want to thank our commissioners' team in the last 5 years. I want to thank all colleagues in the European Parliament. We are a great team, a great family in the Parliament as EPP Group. And I want to mention our strong team on the Council table. Let me mention them personally. It's in Ireland, Leo Falatka. It's in Sweden, Ulf Kristersson. Finland, Petri Orpo. In Latvia, Evika Silina. In Lithuania, Ingrida Simonite. In Poland, Donald Tusk. In Austria, Karl Nehammer. In Croatia, Andrei Plenković. Romania, Klaus Iohannis. In Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis. In Cyprus, it's Nikos Christodoulides. And in Luxembourg, it's Luc Frieden. Our strong team on the Council table, we are proud of our Prime Ministers and Head of States and Government. And let me mention also our strong opposition leaders who have good chances to soon join our friends on the Council table. It's Luis Montenegro, it's Alberto Núñez Feijóo in Spain, and it is Friedrich Merz in Germany. And all the others who will be soon also elected and will share our EPP ideas. We have the President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, a strong and solid politician, a modern young woman. Roberta is a strong and solid politician, a modern young woman and an EPP-minded politician for whom EPP interests always comes first. So, dear Roberta, I would invite you today to consider to run again as President of the European Parliament. You did a great job, and your family, the EPP, want you to continue, dear Roberta. And dear colleagues, we have Ursula von der Leyen. As President of the European Commission, the European government was and is in good and in strong hands. Ursula, thank you for running again. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your strong leadership. You can count on me and you can count on your entire EPP family. We support you and you will be a great lead candidate for our family. Thank you so much. "2024 is a unique super election year. Half of the world will go to the ballot boxes. India, Mexico, US, and in June, the European elections will take place. The second biggest democratic vote in the world will take place. The EPP, dear colleagues, is a powerhouse of Europe. We will drive the next year's development as we did in the past. And we will do this with determination, with passion, but also with clear head. And we will do this together with people and not against them. We do it the EPP way. Thank you.